Welcome everybody back to our coverage of Überfest 2024. I am Siyo, gonna be on the camera and production today. We're in the playoffs portion of this tournament. We're currently casting the upper bracket semifinals between the dogs and the tournament favorites, NOOBPANZER, TF2 Prem team, top 3 in the div right now. I got Flaurosa with me, gonna be doing the play-by-play while I'll be bringing you all the analysis of this game. Flaurosa, how are you, my girl?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. It's nice to come back here and see everyone again, all that fun stuff. I'm hoping that we get a decent matchup coming out between Panzer and the Dogs. The Dogs were struggling a little bit yesterday, but who knows? Maybe they'll be able to bring it back and upset this tournament a little bit against Panzer.
And it's actually crazy how they ended up here. They defeated one of the ETF2L Prem teams in this tournament. They defeated 4.5 stars on the mainstream yesterday. Go check out the VOD of that if you get the chance after today. They actually beat them in a very close 2-1 fashion in the upper bracket opening quarterfinals. And it was a bit of a shocker to say the least, because you would have expected all the Prem teams to make it through. But the Dogs apparently had that dog in them. Not when we were casting them. I guess they just don't have the dog in them when we're casting them, but they have it in them when they're casted on the mainstream. So they're here as the unexpected underdogs here against the tournament favorite.
Not the caster's curse. Maybe we were cursing them yesterday because we kept cheering for them.
Yeah, we were at first the dog stream. We were the dog pound camera. Like we were the CCTV watching over the dogs. They were resting in their kennels, but I guess they've been let out. Somebody let the dogs out. Because right now they got their dog in them. They got to keep it going. They got to keep it going against the NOOBPANZER squad.
Yeah, and we are live. Oh, man. It is nice to see Yimpo back on demo. All that fun stuff coming out.
So we're going to be on Sultry here. I believe this is NOOBPANZER's pick. They'll be on red while the dogs are on blue. And take away the first mid.
Honestly, coming out here, it looks like both demos are about even. Yimpo is getting a little bit of spam out here, while the Gazzy is kind of looking for a little bit of a poke here. Sneaky is once again going under, but Puck goes in for a little bit of a sack, doesn't get much. Ryan is going for a flank here. Kosuke does go for a bomb here, going in and ends up dying to Sneaky. Panzer is getting quite a few kills. The dogs are trading them out quite well. And right now, it looks like Panzer is coming across point and ensuring that they can get a little bit of space and hopefully push out the dogs. Phoenix does come back in and does get that scout, does get Vox Tech, and that will push out Panzer.
That was a great mid, I would say, from the dogs. They kind of clumped up at the start, and they were able to deal with the Ryan flank there, going Frog behind into the dogs' choke, and neutralizing the soldier impact. They only lost Kosuke. Dealing with both the soldiers is really good, as Phoenix here is going to bomb into Frog, just going for a fade, looking to see how they can work their sack, but Ryan's going to kill him in Frog falling back. So that's a sack now for the NOOBPANZER squad.
Oh, we got the taunt coming out from Yimpo from killing Tuck.
Oh wait, they exchanged though on mid. Actually, Martin may have dropped, didn't have Uber potentially, and
yeah,
they can walk back into mid NOOBPANZER.
Martin did end up dropping there, unfortunately, and that will force Yimpo and the dogs to back up to second, possibly to last, do this Uber dis-ad that they'll be having to play with.
So now with this full Uber ad, they could probably go coast to coast in a second, because right now Martin's heals were late to spawn. So it's really just the traps that they have to worry about, like being set up in Shutter, as Ryan has just seen. So they'll have full Uber ad. Here, it's still workable to where the point where they can peek in the last spot where the setup is, and they can just use in and just destroy the gun, and maybe they'll have to worry about the sniper sightline from Omger.
Looks like they will be coming out here from dungeon. The dogs do have a sniper up here, and they do have a leveled gun. I'm not sure if they were able to get the gun, but it might be a swab. Pickles does end up getting a saw off on the enemy soldier, is staying alive with that slight ad, or the slight, what do you call it? Ubercharge duration. God, I can't speak. But anyways, they're back up to 40% here, while the dogs are at 90%. Maybe they'll let it even out, but they should definitely be taking this advantage here through Alley.
Gotta be careful here about Gazzy going for the back. Shutter, he's going for a flank shove with his roamer in tow and going straight to last, but they've been both spotted and dealt with. I think one of the big things about that last push that failed for them was that because they were using from dungeon, they had to cross so far, and they were able to kill Yimpo, but all the Uber was spent trying to deal with the dogs' demo, as right now I think the dogs are going to take that momentum into second with these 3 picks.
Yeah, it does look like Panzer is trapping flank here, trapping choke as well, trying to make sure that the sack coming out won't be too well. It does look like they might be getting ready to go through choke. Phoenix does go for a bomb over the top. Unfortunately, they're not able to get anything. They do get a little bit of pressure coming out here. Yimpo once again spamming through choke. And it looks like Panzer is going through the flank route on right. They were spotted by Kosuke, and Puck goes for a high bomb on the med, and they are able to get one.
Oh.
And they would have got the air shot. Unfortunately, though, the med did end up popping, and that will be a big ad for Panzer coming in here. As
with these
they
two
will
picks,
have
they
to
can go for the pressure. They can go for the pressure, and they got GG. And that might force out the Uber from Voxy and Pickles, and they do pop indeed. So while they did get forced, and they might lose Yimpo here, they at least are able to even out the Uber situation. Oh, but Pickles got destroyed by Kosuke!
This is a very, very wild match coming out so far. It's been such a great showing. I'm so glad that the dogs were able to get something going here.
And that's good for them, because in all of this, they had to, you know, they got forced on second, they had to close the distance and go instantly react and bomb to choke to get that force on the Pickles. And even in the post exchange, getting that pick on the Pickles was more than they had asked for. So that swings the favor in their advantage.
Yeah.
The other way around. Advantage in their favor.
Yeah, it does look like the dogs do have Uber here. There's a very big ad. It looks like they might be trying to go through right side for this possible exchange. They are sending Phoenix out to try and poke around, see that there's two soldiers on the flank. They do go for the flank action here. Yimpo and Phoenix go for that, and they do end up using here on point. Martin is using cross point, and they are not able to really catch people out quite yet. Panzer is at 80%, and it does look like once again, Phoenix is trying to go in and possibly get a little bit, but they do end up getting pushed back out.
So with Ryan still behind, you can expect a pincer play here. They're going to try to use in and then bring them into Ryan's waiting arms. But Ryan's actually the one getting chased, and they do use the Uber, but because they were already kiting back and dealing with Ryan, they only lose Yimpo, so they don't get pinched and they don't lose everybody in this play by NOOBPANZER.
Oh yeah, for sure. It does look like Ryan is spamming the med into lobby from right flank there. And we do have GG moving up slowly, ensuring that they are not able to go and get that sack on them way too early. It does look like the dogs are going to be swapping over to heavy NG on last here to try and prevent, Panzer from getting in and getting value before it goes too far. It does look like they might be going ready for a sack. Puck is going for a high bomb. Hits one, and unfortunately is not able to get the second onto that engineer there.
This is like one of those things about Sultry last that kind of make it really hard to sack into, is that because you have to bomb from such a far distance, and plus, you know, where the normal setup is we see the soldier Kosuke dying to a trap in alley. It's easy for the med, just like Sunshine last, to play towards the spawn door and just, whenever a sack comes in, just stay in there and just go back into the spawn door.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. It does look like the dogs have gotten Omger on Sniper here, slowly peeking through alley, possibly trying to get somebody else out. While Puck is on Sniper as well, we will have the SVS possibly in alley here, depending on where they end up playing. Omger is now watching Dungeon, rotating over to the left, while Panzer is slowly making their way, working their Sniper through flank here and ensuring that they could possibly get some value out of it. It looks like Puck, once again, is taking good aim, and Omger is watching the complete opposite side. Omger is rotating over, possibly going to have the SVS here soon. No, it looks like they're staying on mid. Oh, they are slow peeking alley now. Does look like they are trying to work a sack in. They do try and get a little bit in the SVS. They end up getting the scout instead, and then Phoenix goes on through, gets one, gets two, gets three on the demo. And the dogs are reaggressing through alley here, trying to get the sniper. They do get the air shot with a body shot, and that will be a good reaggression there.
Yes, a really great. The thing that I'm really noticing about the dogs is that they're very quick to react on counter-attacks. They're very quick to collapse after they're falling back on NOOBPANZER, and that's really been giving them a lot of advantages in situations where you would expect the dust to settle and they would just work a counter-attack. Instead, they're just going all in and trying to capitalize off of the picks that they're given. Ooh, what an air shot.
Ooh, Ryan does go for the sack there. Unfortunately, they are not able to get any value. They do disrupt them a little bit. So at the very least, they are able to see. Puck is able to spot that sniper out and choke and ensures to not play around that. It looks like the Panzers are playing underneath point here, trying to get a little bit of value but not trade too fast. And it looks like Voxtech, or Panzer does end up using in. Voxtech here, trying to get a little bit of value, is unable to do so, gets flashed, and ends up walking out with their med. Med is back out through choke, but the Dogs did use in retaliation. They are not able to catch anybody out. But we have Puck coming in for the late bomb. 1-2, gets a sniper. Sniper goes down. Panzer is coming back through right. Pickles does get hit by one, is able to stay alive. The medics are both, Pickles is very unhealthy here, trying to stay alive, while the rest of the Dogs are just kind of hanging on. We do have a 3v3 going on. A little bit of a duo, or a ulti trios going on. We've got the demo, the scout, and the med. Ensuring that, you know, at least a little bit of coverage and a little bit of interaction is going on there.
Yeah, they wanted to use the soldier to fading through choke there to give some space for the team pushing, or for the combo pushing through cheese on NOOBPANZER to get in. But, you know, it was just an exchange. Feel out how the Dogs would want to react to their aggression, sudden aggression, and the Dogs handled it perfectly. It was an even 3-for-3 trade. They're still able to maintain and reset the situation on second, but now they'll be more aware of what NOOBPANZER is going to try to do to break their hold.
Yep, and it looks like NOOBPANZER is once again peeking right, possibly getting ready to go through flank once again. They do have the Dogs do have a soldier stationed right outside Kosuke, making sure that they are not able to get through there for free. We do have the high bomb from Ryan. Ryan does get the soldier off, and the other soldier does go in. They are not able to get that air shot, but they do get the scout there. And it looks like the Dogs are slowly working their people in, ensuring that ensuring that Panzer is getting forced out here, and then attempting to re-aggress through choke. Both scouts here pushing and holding W. And it does look like the scouts are able to get a little bit of value, a little bit of chip damage, and it does look like the Dogs do end up using first here. Pickles are chasing them at or the right flank, and it does look like it was more of a stalemate over there. But they are re-aggressing now. Panzer is trying to get a little bit of value. The Dogs are able to stay alive. Martin is sitting around 40 HP. And it looks like Sneaky is going crazy with it. Omger is also able to get a couple of kills. Kosuke goes in, gets the bomb, and it looks like that will be the fight for the Dogs.
One thing that Panzer are struggling with right now is that they are, even though they had the forward spawns and they were able to roll out, you know, in the nick of time, maybe they were a second or two late, but they can't seem to stop this constant aggression or these shoves by the Dogs, because they're pushing on advantages that most teams wouldn't really try to push out on, like pushing in from your second into mid off of just like one pick, and then, you know, it did end in an exchange, and then they realized, oh, we still have our players here. It's a 6v5 despite the forward spawns. Let's try to shove in and see what we can get. And they were allowed in essentially for free. Not much resistance was given. Maybe a single soldier bomb.
Looks like the Dogs are going for an exchange here through lower. They do try and get a little bit of value. They do have the pyro and the gun. The gun does end up going down. The med gets launched up. Yimpo is trying to spam out, making sure that they are not able to re-aggress through right. We do have a little bit of cap time coming out. Doesn't look like any Reds, or the Reds were able to get back on there. Panzer is trying to stay alive. We have Yimpo once again spamming, trying to go for that air shot. He gets an air shot, almost gets two. Does get the fall damage, and it does look like, unfortunately, the Uber will not be too profitable.
Yeah, just unfortunate, you know, just having that heavy come in late provides an added layer of security to that last hold, and they just weren't able to kill the heavy. And I think that really kind of spelled the end of their push there for the side of the Dogs.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, it does look like the Dogs are trying to even out this Uber. They do have the... is that a spy? We do have the spy play coming out from Sneaky. Sneaky does try and gun down. They do get the gun down on Puck. They are traded out, though. Oh, we do have some funny gamer words getting said in chat. But what do you call it? Phoenix is going for a little bit of a sack here on flank. They do get one rocket onto the scout. Unfortunately, they're not able to clean up. Ryan is alone here and gets punished. They are able to get the force, though. And it does look... that will put the Dogs are... sorry, I heard a scout voice line. I was trying so hard not to repeat it.
You're fine, though. You know, it's surprising that they dealt with the flank shove really well. Wait, Hawkeye's in. Onto the medic. Just needs one good clean rocket and manages to kill Pickles. I was going to say, that was a really good flank shove
through the
by
windshield.
NOOBPANZER. I was going to say, it was a good shove by NOOBPANZER to get the force, A bit of a misplay by the medic Martin, but still somehow there's still Kosuke there to save the day and maintain their Uber advantage, so they'll have another try here at last.
Oh, for sure. It does look like they are slowly regressing here onto second, ensuring that both teams are, you know, having a little bit of pressure. The Dogs are holding a big advantage here coming through left side. Voxtech is on sniper here, trying to peek and try and get a little bit of value. Doesn't look like they're able to get much. They do try and go for a little bit. They are unable to do so. They do get an air shot on the demo, and it will be coming out here. The gun is stopping everything, and it does look like the post is on right, and they have to retreat back into lobby due to only getting one person. We do have Ryan here trying to chase that med out. They are trying to, it looks like they might be going through bomb. Panzer is, oh, we do have Phoenix going for a high bomb on the med. Hits one, hits two. They did grab a medium pack though, and unfortunately they are not able to get the other soldier does go in. Unfortunately, Kosuke is not able to get anything, and it will be Panzer retaking second.
They're going to clear these traps here, walking in through choke, and this should be their mid to take. There is a scout shoving behind that is not accounted for, though, but should be dealt with. I mean, this mid cap is going to go through, but nobody's really able to contest on the side of the Dogs because they're stuffed out of this frog area, and I mean, this cheese area, so Sneaky is just left to his own devices and will go down to the combo.
Oh, man. But yeah, coming out here, we do have evened out Ubers. The Dogs are down a player. They might possibly try and work a sack here, possible to force the med. The Panzer's med is playing in choke. We do have Ryan going in through, is not able to get any value, does get a rocket onto the med, so it will make them a little unhealthy. Looks like Phoenix did try and go for a sack as well, half health Pickles, but unfortunately Pickles didn't use here. And once again, the New Panzer will be coming in through the right flank as they really enjoy doing so. And it looks like there's a fight going on. Kosuke does get puck. And we have the Gazi versus Sneaky going on a little bit. Unfortunately, that didn't bear any fruit. And we do have the drop coming out from Kosuke.
Yeah, 6 speed shot and then a sink off of that onto Pickles. Getting that drop is imperial for them to getting this midpoint, but they have to worry about another flank shot from New Panzer, shoving yet again. This has been pretty much tantamount to them after losing an advantage, so having to send everybody back on the Dogs gives more
have
time to set up.
Behind. Voxtech is pulling everybody back, trying to give Panzer some more time before they do end up eventually trying to work a sack here on their med. They do end up forcing Martin, and that will be the Dogs taking a little bit of a disad now. It does look like New Panzer, they are down 2 players and they might be playing for last. Panzer is at 40%, while the Dogs, Martin is at 25. About a 20 or 30 disad going out here.
Would have expected it to be more considering Pickles had respawned a little earlier than expected, and then they got them forced late on mid. But a slight misplay, I guess, because had they had a more big advantage on the side of New Panzer, they might have tried to push out of last here, but instead they're going to settle here. But they're getting shoved in lobby, Yimpo is, and he's caught.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And we do have Martin coming out here on the left, and Martin does get bombed, does end up going down to Ryan. Huge bomb from mid. Phoenix does end up getting Ryan. Unfortunately, though, Martin did end up dying there, making it a little bit more difficult to get anything worked in here.
We got a soldier high bomb from Phoenix, but really great bait from Pickles. But in the meantime, there's a back cap here with now the Dogs flank. So now they brought everybody back, and Kosuke has an opportunity to bomb onto the medic, but Pickles is going to be safe and sound here as long as they deal with Omgar, and they do indeed.
All right, I retried. Okay, I'm back. Anyways, so we do have the Dogs coming out here. Unfortunately, they are not able to hold on to anything. Martin, it does seem like the Dogs have a little bit of trouble getting somebody to go back to their med so that healing rate can keep going. Pickles is just building out the ad. It looks like it's about a 70% dis-ad for the Dogs. Pickles and Panzer are slowly going through. They do get Pluck going in for the sack. Unfortunately for Panzer, the Dogs are playing on last. They do have a gun up and a sniper up. We'll have to see if they can get any sniper play. They do end up getting forced on the right. They are going through, get a little bit of value. They do get the soldier before they go back in. They are not able to get the gun quite yet. They are playing this right flank quite well, trying to ensure that they can get at least a little bit of value here as this last fight continues going on. It does look like they are staying alive. Pickles is making sure to heal everybody. Gazzy is trying to sneak a little bit of cap time, and Kosuke does end up exploding to their own bomb. It does look like they are getting a little bit of things. Martin is going to use here, and that will force Panzer to back out, as all of them are extremely low. We are sitting here with about 11 minutes and 30 left on the clock. Remember, due to EU rules, at the end of that time, it will just stop the game.
Really weird. I don't think they had to force her on the side of the dogs, but the problem was in the post fight, NOOBPANZER wanted to stand because they knew that they had to get the force off onto Martin, and they were able to do so. But it was more so an error from the dogs, just trying to take the fight to them rather than just playing around their heavy and just holding until they get the Uber. But they just let NOOBPANZER dictate the pace.
And it
of the
looks
game.
like Pickles is, the Panzer is coming through here with a use from Dungeon, ensuring that they get a little bit more space. Hopefully we can see a little bit more cap time going on. We do see Kosuke jumping from the left. They do end up forcing Martin. Ryan is going out for a bomb. Does get Kosuke before they are able to get out from alleyway. And it looks like that will be that interaction.
Yeah, just your typical, delay to get the Uber on the last hold, get the Uber out, and force the enemy team pushing in out. Just really good building there from Martin, and that should reset the scenario. And I think now with these two pushes that have gone through, I think they're going to be playing for the round reset, but there's still 3 minutes left here that they got to hold on for.
Yeah, it does look like Panzer is going for another exchange through Dungeon. They do end up using on Voxtech here. They do end up getting the gun, so hopefully they can get a little bit more value this time around. Phoenix is spamming from the right, and the heavy does come out. Omgar on the heavy gets one, gets two, does end up getting arrowed. Met does go down on the dogs. GG is spamming here, ensuring that people are off the point, and that is a round.
Yeah, this time they got so much distance with their Uber. I think really the dogs got too much, they gave up too much space, and they had to play around their left spawn. So off of that, NOOBPANZER just fade in all of their soldiers. They do a high bomb onto the heavy and towards the players on the left shutter, and that just allows GG to pick up so much damage, and really so much damage was done that allowed them to win that last push on the side of NOOBPANZER.
Oh, yeah. It does look like coming in here, it does look like blue team or the dogs are getting a little bit of a faster mid. However, Panzer is staying around tower, ensuring that they are not able to get too spammed out. We do have a little bit of a poke. Martin does take a rocket there. And it does look like Ryan goes for the flank. Omgar does call them out. Ryan is coming back out, getting ready for a bomb. The bomb call should be coming out soon to ensure maybe a little bit of pressure. Ryan does end up getting caught out by Omgar. It does look like Sneaky is going in, does get the demo, does end up trading for Voxtech, and it looks like Panzer is unfortunately able to... or unable to stay alive.
Oh,
but
man.
Both meds did get traded out.
Ryan there. He shouldn't have been allowed to be alive for that long. Getting the salvage kill onto Martin at the end of the mid there. Just Omgar missing his shots there. But I do want to say, they're waiting for Ryan to get into position for these bombs to pincer onto the dogs. That time he stayed in Frog because he wanted to give the element of confusion, leaving the dogs thinking, oh, is he going to flank from Choke? Is he going to flank from Frog? Is he going to go all the way around to Cheese? But I think Panzer are waiting too long, and that's allowing Phoenix and Kosuke to do that double bomb onto them, and instead they're the ones getting caught off guard on the mids by the dogs. But the dogs are the ones around down, so they got to make something work here on the second sack.
Oh, yes. We do need to see a little bit of things going on here. We do have even Ubers due to the spawn wave being a little bit delayed. It does look like it's more of a chip fest. The dogs will need to make something up. They are getting a little bit of Uber ad here. It doesn't look like they are playing off of it. It looks like they are just playing for the sack here, possibly trying to work something in to force the enemy med. Phoenix is going for a high bomb onto the med, doesn't end up seeing them on the right, is able to get back through. Martin, however, was forced, and they were not able to get the Panzer to force there. So it will be a small reset coming out for the dogs.
Yeah, quick reaction there from the soldiers on Panzer, pressuring Frog, pressuring through Choke. That allows them to get the force on a Martin. So we'll just see here as they try to get their working working and bearings in through cheese here. They are actually getting pressured pretty hard here from Yimpo, and then you have the soldier bombing there into cheese. So they're gonna reset, wait for Puck, or I think that was Puck who was on the respawn timer. They're gonna rethink their strategy through choke this time. So we have a fade here from Kosuke, actually bombing in from the hut area and just doesn't get the force onto Pickle. So this should be a cleanly taken mid. I don't know if they can take it into second because Martin's just about coming up on his Uber. So we'll just have to see them work the sack, but not having to worry about that second soldier may allow them to get a pretty good sack in here. But they're taking their time here, so.
They are. We do have 6 minutes left on the clock. Once again, after those 6 minutes are over, it will be it. It does look like Panzer comes in with the exchange first, bombing the soldier in. Voxtech is able to pick up a kill on Phoenix. Omger is able to get Gazi here with a very good Uber. 2 kills for 1. So we'll have to see. The dogs might be able to regress here. It does look like they are going through cheese, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah, and they're going to go through, off of this 3-man advantage because right now you have a player behind in Ryan. So Ryan's going to have to fight against Phoenix or maybe meet up back to get back into this fight. So right now he's fighting Phoenix. So that's not going to be him fighting in this mid fight because he actually does go down to Phoenix. So instead it's Yimpo who's the one most forward for his team on the dogs, and instead they're going to try to play this war of attrition here, play out the number advantage off of the pick onto Ryan, but they're just facing resistance against the NOOBPANZER squad, and NOOBPANZER now has their forward up.
Oh yeah, it does look like Yimpo is getting a little bit spammed out here. Unfortunately for the dogs, they did end up taking three people down, and both soldiers, so we may not be able to get a sack back in to try and force Panzer here. It does look like Panzer is slowly working their way through. Ryan does go for a high bomb, is able to get a little bit of pressure out on that scout. Unfortunately, is not able to get a kill and meets up with the other soldier, allowing them to take second and possibly work their way onto third.
So off of that, we're going to see the second point taken by NOOBPANZER, and they're going to be working in a sack on the last. You have Ryan doing the high bomb from Alley, landing actually pretty cleanly onto the medic, and doing that
in the force.
Getting that head rocket onto Martin actually forces him to use, because there was no way he would have surfed away from that second rocket.
Oh, that was such a perfectly placed rocket to get that force out on Martin. We do have Omger back on the sniper, and we do have Phoenix peeking a little bit from lobby. Just get a direct onto Gazi. We will have to watch out for a little bit of, what do you call it? A little bit of a sack coming in here. We do have Omger on the flank, once again on sniper, watching Alley, possibly able to get a little bit of value. It does look like they are called out. They're not able to get a shot on Ryan. They do end up getting a little bit of a exchange coming over here on the right. They do end up going for the gun. Voxtech is getting the gun. It does get unflashed so that they are able to get a little bit of pressure on the point. It does look like quite a smorgasbord on the left side here, and does look like Panzer is unable to do much as they do end up dropping their soldiers, scout, and a demo.
Yeah, they just tried to do that same thing with that one round, just collapsed it towards the left spawn, but the pyro there took too long to kill, so they just failed in their efforts, but that's okay, because now the dogs, shoes in their foot, they're going to be pushing into mid with full ad.
We do have the high bomb coming out here from Pluck. Does get the force out on Martin.
That should have never happened, I gotta say.
For sure. Very unfortunate. It does look like Panzer will have to build out this Uber here. Or Panzer will be building this Uber out, trying to use this ad as the dogs are severely down. Phoenix does launch through, gets a little bit of a rocket onto the med. Unfortunately, they're not able to do anything. Phoenix is going for a little bit of a sack play here, or from behind. Does go for a solo sack. Does get a direct onto the med. Unfortunately, they should have probably waited. Or wait, no, their team was dead, so that was a better play. Get that respawn timer up.
Yeah, they were trying to shove in through cheese, the dogs, but they just met so much resistance at the choke point. You had soldier spamming it. I think that was Ryan, and then you had GG already laying down 6 and spam. So going through one of the most chokiest choke points is not going to really bode well when you're already facing against so much resistance. So NOOBPANZER now, they're going to try their hand at it, and because the dogs are not set up, they're able to kind of get
Martin
in, but it's going to be an exchange.
Yeah, it'll be an exchange coming out here from Cheese. Once again, it seems that Panzer really enjoys going through Cheese, as it seems to be one of the more closed off areas, ensuring that they can get in there with as little information given to the dogs as possible.
And they've been a fan, the dogs, of going off of these one-man advantages. So they're going to go in. Phoenix is going to fade in. And because he wasn't able to get that sync onto GG, they're just going to have to settle for staying on second. And Ryan's already working his way through Frog. Might land on the medic here. Actually gets air piped by Yimpo. And Yimpo successfully defends his medic.
What a great pipe coming out there from Yimpo. Sneaky is over here and Choke just kind of watching, ensuring that nothing goes uncalled. They do see Puck going over. We have some more trash talk going on in chat. It's always a little bit fun to have some competitive banter going on.
No, for sure. And right now, we're not going to see an off-class. We're instead going to see a flank shove. As right now, actually, both teams are shoving the flanks. You have the flank of the dogs shoving Frog. Then you have the combo of Panzer pushing in through Cheese. And that's actually, they actually went through Choke the dogs.
Yeah, they get a wraparound
into Cheese. So now you have wraparound. It's like a bunch of layers all added together. But all at the end of it, it looks like NOOBPANZER are going to be the ones worse for wear, unless Puck, who's behind, can say anything about it. But I think he's only going to be
Puck
able
is going in.
He was only able to just bomb forward and not get any picks. Unfortunately, he's been spotted too, so this is really bad for NOOBPANZER because now you're down 2 soldiers. It's really up.
They are able to trap the
down.
demo and spawn for a little bit though. Does look like they are inevitably pushed out. They are at 19 HP, just kind of staying alive. This demo is slowly chasing. It does look like they gave up the chase. Puck is just trying to play and get that possible demo pick.
Yeah, but he's been delaying for so long that, you know, with these 2 players behind, they can collapse onto the rest of the dogs, and they are managing to do
Martin.
so. Ryan's going to get the kill at Choke. Everybody's going to wipe on second. The dogs are looking pretty good right now. I mean, are looking pretty bad right now. And Ryan going for a taunt? I don't know, actually. He may have ult-tabbed. I wasn't in third person, but he just...
No, they did end up taunting.
Okay, I was going to say. That was a bit, that was odd, but... Now they're going to be pushing into second without Ryan, so it's going to be hard for them to get through this area without using, and they do use so on the side of NOOBPANZER, but Ryan has to go back
Martin
and
is
try to
caught
defend.
off alone. Martin is caught off alone. That is time. That's what was going on.
I didn't have the round timer up on my...
Yeah, it looks like that is
So
a 1-0 in Panzer's favor.
So it kind of explains why the dogs were going for that pincer upon pincer, is because, you know, they were out of time. They had to make the play in order to, you know, win the game. And with a 30-minute rule set, you know, it's different from us here North Americans. If you're watching the stream and thinking, oh, you know, where's the continuous overtime? There is no continuous overtime here. This is European
and we don't
lands.
have Banny config either. It is, once the 30 minutes are over, it is over.
And dare I'd say, I mean, this is pretty much a warm take. It's the better, I think it's the better rule set. You know, the third.
Honestly, yeah, I would be kind of down to play the 30 minutes and then just be done.
Yeah, but obviously that's subject to controversy in North America, it seems. But that was actually a very close game, because if you remember when these two faced, you know, you and Number One Rocker were casting yesterday their match in the group stage, Flaurosa. That was a straight up. That was straight up
unfortunately, the dogs were getting rolled by Panzer. Today, however, they had a much better showing. They were able to get a little bit of pushback going on. Unfortunately, they did end up losing due to the time constraint. I do believe they might have been able to bring it back if there's a little bit more time. Unfortunately, though, due to the constrictions, we will only be seeing that much out of them.
One of the things that I do want to point out is that this is actually the Dogs' pick, which also explains how it was so close in the first place, but not also including the fact that it is Sultry. So Sultry games tend to be pretty low score just because it's so hard to push into last. It's one of the things that I think people have as a critique of this map. It's just that when you push into last, there's so much distance to cover that you spend most of your Uber trying to use in through the doorway and then just trying to cross all the way to their spawn to lock it out. But obviously some players may have their own opinions of it. The Dogs, they seem to want to throw an offhand pick onto NOOBPANZER, and it almost worked out for them. They just weren't able to convert the last push that they had with the advantages. I think they had like 4 times where they were in a scenario to push into last with ad, and they just weren't successful in it. But
yeah,
I mean, it's still a great showing, and they can keep their heads high into the next map.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Do we have any logs coming up here?
Yeah, I'll send them to you. And I mean, off of first glance, like, it's surprising to say, but the Dogs actually came out on top in terms of frags, which is something that's really good to see. But Omger had a really good game, 28-9. You know, on that combo scout roll. That's just something you love to see out of your combo scout, especially when yesterday they were getting dogged on by NOOBPANZER. Now they're the ones dogging on them. Maybe not to get a map
They
win,
were.
but
They were getting dogged on. Oh man. Honestly, once again, it was a really great showing from both teams here. Very unfortunate how the dogs did end up losing, but once again, it was a very good showing. I was a little bit hyped over that spy kill, but the revolver does kind of go crazy sometimes.
I what they actually got the kill? I thought they only got like 2
Yeah,
shots. And then
no, they got the revolver kill off on a soldier. I don't remember who though.
it was probably Sneaky. Just guessing.
Yeah,
off the
I was
first
meaning
one.
like sneaky killed somebody. I don't remember
Oh,
who it
okay,
was. It was
okay.
one of the soldiers.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was Ryan. Yeah, I remember what you were thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
And then
off the
earlier,
logs,
oh,
like
man.
first glance, like
The-
soldiers doing pretty well. Ryan and Puck obviously damage negative, but they were actually going for a lot of flank shots that were quickly shut down, and they were kind of playing more to give their life in order for Voxy and Gazzy to take some space off of GG and Pickles' backup. But otherwise, I mean, with Metalworks being the next map pick by NOOBPANZER, obviously NOOBPANZER had a pretty good showing yesterday. I think it was against, I want to say it was Sketa. Sketa in the group stage. I think they tied actually. No, it was Pepe's Pizza Party that they played
Happy's
Metalworks
Pizza
on.
Party.
And it was a
Oh
2-2 tie. So that's
man.
ETF2L Prem versus ETF2L Prem team. You know, this is looking dangerous for the dogs because there's a if they played well against Pepe's Pizza Party in the group stage, despite being the favorites and tying, you know, they've clearly shown comfort on this map that they were willing to pick it against the dogs. So
Yeah, for sure. Once again, we really just gotta hope that they can keep this up. As once again, they were the attorney's favorites. And see if they can make it all the way back up and you know, ensure that they can maybe possibly get that prize pool.
yeah, so off of the top four teams in Prem right now, I think the ones that are in attendance are Sketa and what is it? NOOBPANZER. Mandem obviously are not playing in this tournament, but
Mhm.
so it's really those two teams right now that are the clear favorites to win. I guess if you were to put them in a S tier, I guess you could put them in the S tier, and everybody else is pretty much in a different tier. I think the only A tier teams that I would rate at this LAN are the other ETF12 Prem teams, which would be Pepe's Pizza Party and 3.5 stars. But
Mhm.
otherwise, like Sketa and NOOBPANZER have been actually playing it close against the other two teams that are in this tournament that are also Prem, which I just mentioned. So, you know, while, you know, there are favorites, the race is too close to call, I'd say.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Honestly, here's a quick question. Out of the two S tier teams, which one are you choosing?
Uh
Or which one are you wanting to win or expect to win the tourney?
I think just going off of like, you know, because I did follow season 48. I've been following season 48 so far. I'd probably just go off of just overall consistency. I just got to give it to NOOBPANZER because you still have the core of you still have the scout combo of Verdos playing together. That is Foxy and Gazzy, and then you have, I would say, upgrades in pretty much every other department. Maybe because I feel like Pickles has been on the come up as a medic. GG is like easily a top European demo man in the scene right now. But
Mhm.
Ryan and Puck, I I'm not gonna say it right now, but he's been picked on to be on another land team. Is like that's a really strong duo to have in the first place. I think and and Ryan and Puck have shown some really good synergy in this game so far, and from what I've seen from watching the Critscast broadcast of day one, it's just that I think for Sultry it just looked a bit weird because it seemed like they were bombing and just going for shoves because they weren't really comfortable with Sultry as a map itself, but now that they're on their comfort pick, which is Metalworks, I could see something different coming from them, and we can see why I am picking them to be the favorites of the tournament, NOOBPANZER. So
Understandable, understandable. Oh man. But yeah, once again, what a very even match coming out. Hopefully we can still see some more matches coming out soon. Do we have our next cast prepped?
no, we are still in a BO3 because this is playoffs, so we're now on to Metalworks right now. So
Oh, it's a best of three. I
come on,
apologize. I did
brother.
not
It's
realize that.
playoffs.
I'm not too smart. I apologize. I was distracted.
You are good. You are good. We're still waiting on the dogs. It looks like they went to go for a water break or something because we have all the players from NOOBPANZER in the server. We're just waiting on the dogs. So we'll just cut to a quick break and we'll be back soon.
Sounds good.
The fears become so blatantly apparent. I can see it in your eyes. You've become so blatantly transparent, believing all the lies. Do you think you're helping humankind as you leave them all behind? Your hair is buzz cut, nervous with an anxious gut. They're pushing you in line. Your mind is closed shut, treated like a mutt. Will you realize sometime? Does it give yourself some sort of pride for your insecure mind? How could you be so lost? You don't even know the cost. How could you let all wanna cry, I don't wanna leave, just lay on your floor tonight. I don't wanna sleep, I don't wanna cry, I don't wanna leave, just lay on your floor tonight. I don't wanna sleep, I don't wanna cry, I don't wanna leave, just lay on your floor tonight. I don't wanna go anywhere, don't wanna go anywhere.
All right, and we are back with this best of 3 between NOOBPANZER and TheDogs. We're now heading into Metalworks. We are on map 2. Unfortunately, we were on Sultry earlier, which was TheDogs' pick, and they were almost close to taking a map off of NOOBPANZER, the favorites of this match, but unfortunately, Sultry ended in a heartbreaking 1-0 fashion in favor of NOOBPANZER. But we are now on NOOBPANZER's map pick, which is Metalworks. Flaurosa, give it to me, sis.
Yes, hello, everybody. Once again, we do want to thank the venue, thank everybody going on for Überfest, all that fun stuff. And we also want to thank Kritzcast for the opportunity to be casting the remote side over here from the US. All that fun stuff. Either way, though, I don't know about you guys, but I really want to see the dogs win. I know I might just have put a caster's curse, but I really want to see the dogs take at least a round.
Because somebody's gonna let the dogs out. So per se.
Somebody gotta let the dogs out,
Because I need that Costco dog in him.
We need that dog.
Whenever I think of their
Oh,
team
go for
name,
it.
I think of the $1.50 Costco hot dog that just never changes in price. And you know what? The price of this team will never change for me. I would say it's priceless for me, actually, as a matter of fact.
It's priceless. Oh, how adorable. Are you proposing to the dogs?
I only got $1.50 in the bank account. I ain't gonna lie, but
Oh, damn. You know what?
take
It'd be
care of
like
them.
that.
I can take
It'd
care
be
of
like
it.
that, though. It'd definitely be like that.
But yeah,
Costco hot dogs goated. Oh, whoa.
I mean, we are heading into map 2, Metalworks. Earlier in day 1, NOOBPANZER did play against Pepe's Pizza Party, which ended in a 2-2 stalemate, so it's a draw, unfortunately. So no winner for that because the group stage was, 30 minutes only, regardless of what the score is when it ends. It ends. But we'll probably see them here. This is their second time playing Metalworks in this tournament.
Ooh, nice
And they
air
pulled
shot.
off- Not quite sure, but the dogs, they don't want to go down to the lower bracket without a fight. And seeing how they played on Sultry, they were so close on, and they actually played a very unorthodox way at TF2 on Sultry, just going for a lot of shoves off of small advantages, like one-man advantages, even in Uber scenarios where they only had that one-man pick to work with. They were getting in cleanly against NOOBPANZER. But now that we're on a pick that NOOBPANZER are much more comfortable on, maybe we won't see that kind of stuff come out of the dog successfully, and maybe NOOBPANZER will show more resistance.
All right, and it does look like we are live.
Any predictions as we head into this map?
Honestly, once again, I really want the dogs to end up taking this round, so maybe we can have a third map, or taking this map so we can have another one. But following the trend so far, I think it might be a little bit difficult to do that. On the mid here, that we do have Yimpo, once again, just kind of spamming from over. Puck is taking a little bit of damage. It does look like both teams are bunkering over an alleyway. They are slowly trying to rotate. Martin is taking a little bit of spam. The rotate is coming out. Yimpo is getting a little bit more spammed out, and it looks like the dogs are extremely unhealthy. There goes Martin from a bomb from Ryan and Puck. And it does look like the dogs are trying to clean up at least a little bit with what they can. Omger is able to pick up both soldiers of Panzer, but unfortunately it looks like Panzer will be taking this mid-fight.
Yeah, really great spam onto the combo of the dogs, so they were walking up the ramp, and just really off of all that spin they were taking, the soldiers were just fading. You had a soldier there in a lunchbox doing a lot of spam and not allowing them to move, so they just all died eventually to the spam that they were being dealt by NOOBPANZER. And unfortunately, it seems that we are on a pause right now, so
The pause.
not
wonder
sure
what
what to make
happened.
of it, because remember, we are on a 90-second delay versus the because we're casting from a remote STV, so
Yeah.
whatever's going on is going on, I guess, per se.
We do love the delay. We do love the delay. At the very least, it gives me a great time to get water. Because, oh man, today's cast has been so high energy.
It's definitely been really close too. Like, I would have never expected the dogs to play this well, but you go get your water. I'll keep them busy. Don't
Oh,
worry.
I got my water right next to me. I
Oh.
was just drinking it. Yeah, no, I'm all good. You should eat, homie.
What, you
We got
gonna-
siyo here. What do you call it? siyo, unfortunately, wasn't able to get too much food in him before we started. I personally, I don't really eat a lot normally in the mornings, so I already had my granola bars. I'm all good to go. In case you guys are wondering, it was chocolate and peanut butter, which honestly, they weren't too bad. They weren't too bad. But there's also another kind, dark chocolate. I don't know about you guys, but I love dark chocolate. And it does look like that will be the pause over. And we do have Voxtech here coming in from the alleyway, trying to make sure that they are able to get at least a little bit of thing. We do still have Omger behind, possibly making a sneaky play. It does look like Omger is, or they do know Omger is behind.
The thing that I'm
Martin
more
here
worried
is-
about right now, actually, Flaurosa, is that I think Voxy and Co. are going to be walking into a potential Uber scenario where they think they have larger advantage, but no, they actually read it pretty well.
Oh, Pickles does end up
what an air
dying.
shot onto, wait, no, Pickles died?
Pickles died.
Wait, oh, it was a trap on far right. They were trying to use him through far right. No wonder they were sending in the sack. Yeah, they were trying to go in off of that small ad that they were losing on, and because they rushed, they weren't really thinking, oh, Yimpo's gonna have traps far right, and wow, the drop comes in. Unfortunately, was not caught on stream, but
Unfortunate. But we do have Pickles back here. They are playing around lobby, ensuring that they are able to get at least a little bit of pressure so they aren't giving it up for free. Ryan does go for a little bit of bomb. Unfortunately, unable to do so.
Oh, but
Is able to make it
Puck's in.
out through alley. Oh, Omger does end up going, and it does look like the dogs are going to be using. Puck does end up going down, and both the Panzer soldiers, Ryan and Puck, unfortunately are dead. They will not be able to work the sack back in, but they are trying to get at least a little bit of value. The dogs are able to come back, possibly get mid, and it does look like Omger does end up going down to a trap on mid. And right now, it's just more of a stalemate, ensuring that at least somebody is able to get that mid point.
yeah, they were just trying to see, hey, can we get into mid and maybe, oh wait, never mind, Phoenix was trying to get in for a force there, but they were just trying to see what if they could probably steal the mid cap before Panzer repushed in with their added player advantage, but unfortunately we're not able to do so, so they're gonna be now back
Oh,
on
Puck
their
is going
second,
for a
they're
little
backing
bit
up
of a
to
bomb.
Shutter, and I think right now if you are New Panzer, you gotta be hurrying up, putting pedal to the metal right now because there's only 20 ad to work with.
Puck is going in for a bomb here. It does try and get a little bit of pressure out. It does move them over from the right. It does. Both teams do end up using the Dogs Uber is a little bit better here, and it does look like Panzer is once again going for a little bit of a high bomb. Puck does go for a high bomb. Gets one on the medic. The medic is almost dead, and they do end up getting the capture point instead, and that will be the first round in favor of Panzer.
Yeah, otherwise, I mean, that was a pretty technical last push there from New Panzer. But actually, it was the Dogs. They did get their Uber on time, but they had to use first because they were all clamored up outside their spawn door, so they weren't able to contest the point. So feeling the need to use gave New Panzer the better Uber in that last push, and they just forced them back slowly, played the point off of Ghazi, and I mean, that's all she wrote for the round.
Yeah. Oh, man. Coming in here, we are on the... I'm just kind of watching Phoenix. Phoenix is going for a little bit of a high bomb. Now playing on crates. Does get that high bomb off, possibly rotating over through lobby. Martin, however, is just kind of staying back on alley, ensuring that nothing is going. And we do have a high bomb coming out from both soldiers. Phoenix does end up going down to Voxtech, and it does look like Ghazi is going in. Does get sneaky, and it does look like Panzer is able to force out the dogs. Fortunately, Martin did not end up dying here, but does end up getting caught out by Gigi, who managed to go through. Oh man, they were at 99% as well. This might be Panzer might be able to take this to second, or they will be able to take this to second. If they were a little bit faster on that cap time, they could have taken it to last.
Yeah, really good chase there from GG there, falling up off of the soldiers that were trying to delay the medics fall back into lobby there. So that'll mean second is pretty much free and right for the taking. And then now they can go into last witness, but You got a sniper peeking far right here. That is Omger. And if they're not careful about it, no, Omger's the one that's not careful about it because there's a scout in his face. Somehow escapes death by the skin of his teeth, but this Uber is still going to come in from NOOBPANZER.
Oh, we have the heavy swap for Omger onto the Tomslav, and it does look like Panzer is using through left here. Voxtech is pushed in early, does get the heavy. The traps do go off. They should be able to get a little bit of cap time. Voxtech is able to get a little bit of cap time. The dogs do end up dropping 4, and that will be another round in favor of Panzer.
Yeah, really good shove there. You know, you have the far right Uber coming in, funneling them from the left to the right. Then you have the soldier high bomb coming in from, I believe that was Ryan, to, you know, cut off the other exit. And you cut off the snake's head, you pretty much win the round there. And that's what NOOBPANZER did with that last push.
For sure, for sure. Honestly, I don't know. I personally might be going for attack pause here, as they do need to get things working again, the dogs do. However, Yimpo is able to go a little bit faster here by sacrificing more of their HP. Does get a little bit of a trap, is not able to get anybody. We do have a high bomb from Puck, does end up getting Yimpo, and we do see the Minecraft pickaxe come out. Unfortunately, they're only able to get a single swipe, and they are not able to finish it off. And the dogs do trade 3 for 3, and right now we have the scout Omger versus Sneaky was going on. Sneaky did end up dying here, or Sneaky did not end up dying, my bad. Omger ended up dying. But it does look like
there's a scout behind though, onto the medic that was Sneaky, getting one clean meat shot in, and now the double scout duo, and they get the kills onto to Gazi, onto Pickles, and they'll clean up GG2 to add to their kill tally. And they should win this mid, but there is still some reinforcements here. Puck and Boxy. Boxy actually ran back, and Puck, thinking better of pushing in, just falls back to second mid. It was really the scouts there on the collapse that gave them the world, the dogs.
Oh yeah, for sure. The collapse there was honestly very impressive, having both scouts come at the same time. We do have Gazi over here on sniper though, once again. Hopefully we can see a little bit of a sniper pick possibly coming out. Looks like they might be going back to spawn to swap to heavy, if I had to guess. No, they're on pyro, so we have the pyro NG on last.
So
the dogs do have...
Uber, then.
Yeah, it does look like they are going to be doing that, though, that far right Uber. And that will be a huge denial. They do end up getting the gun. Unfortunately, for Panzer, the dogs are able to make it through the pyro. Does end up getting another. We do have the base jumper on for Puck. And Puck goes for the Minecraft. He's just floating on. All right, and Puck does end up dying. Phoenix does go for a little bit of a bomb. Yimpo is in here a little bit with their med. It is a 3v3, but they do have a heavy and a med combo. Honestly, it would be best to get out, and it looks like Martin and Sneaky did just that.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw, but the base jumper was in play there on Puck, and that's a recent addition to the ETF2L whitelist. So expect us to see a lot of parachuting paratroopers maybe in this tournament as it progresses to the latter stages. So for NOOBPANZER, they do hold on and they are able to keep their Uber alive on Pickles, but they do have to worry about this Batman spot as they are looking to go in through main here. But we have a speed shot from Puck off of the Uber, and they stuffed the demo. Yimpo is caught up yet again on this Uber, and the player that is on Batman Phoenix still has yet to strike from above, and he's not spotted.
Not quite, but it does look like Panzer is able to make a re-push here, going all the way over to second. Phoenix is behind them, still grabbing Peck, so they could get a possible force coming out here from Phoenix. Phoenix is going for a little of a bomb. No, it does look like they are just trying to get back to their team. The dogs are able to re-aggress on second and work their way into lobby.
Yeah, so Phoenix there was just stopping the mid cap. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to amount to anything, but it will amount to that soldier kill in Valley, trying to hold it on the Bandy Hut. Will go down. That is Panzer's Ryan, and wow, they actually conceded the midpoint pretty well, but it was actually the Uber out of Martin that they were more worried about. So essentially, that is a sack for the side of NOOBPANZER, but this is going to be a use in here through the house area. They're going to use it on Yimpo, but they have already left through Shutter, and this is going to be a reuse in from Boxy, getting the demo once again in the Uber, and now they're going to find Martin there in lower. So the entire combo minus Sneaky is down, and it's really just them, up to them right now, NOOBPANZER, these 4 players to sniff out the rest of the players from the dogs, and they are managing to do so. It's really just Sneaky here against Boxy, and should be cleaned up. Yep, there we go.
Yep. Looks like they are slow building Yimpo as the 4v, or not the 4v3. It does look like Blue does have better spawners. the dogs have better spawners here for the situation. It does look like they are unable to punish that forward spawn coming out, but they are able to get a little bit of pressure going out as we are nearing the 19-minute time.
Yeah, this is a pretty worrying scenario if you are the dogs, because right now there's not a lot of time to work with, and being back on your second is pretty paramount to, you know, burning time off the clock for the side of NOOBPANZER. But we have the sink in from Phoenix, bombing into alley, who doesn't find anything but jumps back and kills the soldier that was bombing in, trying to get some space for his team. And they actually find a second one onto Gazi. I think that was Koska getting the kill there, and he's on the wraparound here. But actually they use on NOOBPANZER in this exchange here on second. So it's really up to Koska here to try to hold off and stay alive. And he's in for the pincer play, and it's a new
pincer play.
And I think it's just the soldier. Oh, what a denial!
Oh, the soldier going in.
Martin almost killed Martin, but they are able to quell against the masses there. So the dogs
are holding on.
They got that dog in them.
They do got that dog in them. Oh man, Yimpo is just kind of trapping for spies, ensuring that there is no spies in the spots. Excuse me. Got to make sure that, you know, just in case, the very least, if there is a spy, they'll know of it.
We got the sentry here in alley. This is kind of, as Puck was hiding there on the lamp spot, wasn't able to get anything. We got the sentry there in the surprise forward spot. That isn't common to see, but people do run that when they are back capping. And I stopped for a second because I saw a trap on the fence, but it looks like it's been cleared. And they still have 40 ads to work with here, Flaurosa, so they can take this to the dogs.
Yeah, and it does look like the dogs are going in here from main, going across bridge, and the gun does get swapped. They do have a heavy pullout. We see once more the base jumper going out from one of the red soldiers. It will be Puck. And unfortunately, the dogs are not able to get anything, and they end up dropping 3 players.
They're trying to do that thing where they take they use it from main. They try to jump the demo in to lock out the spawn doors and, you know, funnel them into a specific area where the soldiers can capitalize off of the dogs. But this time, you know, they weren't successful compared to NOOBPANZER's tries. So a failed attempt, but now they have to get this force here on mid if they want any chance in this game.
Yeah, it does look like we do have Phoenix up on the vents, or Batman, I think you called it.
Yep.
And they do go for the bomb. They do get the one. They are unable to get the med, though, dropping them down to 67 HP. Or not 60, dropping them down to 50 HP. Unfortunately for Panzer, the dogs were able to build out their Uber, and they are now even. It does look like they are playing around pipes here, ensuring that at the very least they are able to walk away if needed.
Yeah, they're going to be spawning that rotate there into alleyway from the rest of the NOOBPANZER combo. We got Puck already spotting it. Going to get this buff, going to go for high bomb. Not sure if Ryan's going to do anything off of it. He's actually going to have Ryan bomb forward to make the space, and then you're going to have Puck bomb in. No, actually. They're trying to feel out the field, figure out what they could get. And this combo here, GG is making a lot of space and distraction right now, hoping you can have a soldier bomb in to play off of it. But they're not going to do anything off of it just yet.
Yeah, we do have both the soldiers, Ryan and Puck, going for high bombs. Unfortunately, they are not able to get any value off those. It does look like Panzer is walking their way back to third, making sure to get all their players healthy, possibly trying to work a sack in here so that they are able to get a better exchange going on. It does look like Panzer is just going to try and work this in. They do get a little bit of traps off. Ryan does go for a little bit of a behind or a flank play. Unfortunately, they are not able to force, and it does look like both teams are sitting at about the same health-wise.
Yeah, tried to isolate that demo Yimpo on point without the beam, and wasn't able to get the kill, but did get 2 clean rockets off. Was almost successful in his endeavor, but unfortunately, NOOBPANZER are going to have to go back to the drawing board. They're going to reset, get their heals. You're going to have GG pressuring in here from bridge. You got a soldier bombing in forward. That is Ryan there, bombing back, but nobody else is able to get in off of that pressure, and GG actually also takes a substantial amount of damage in house, so it has to be forced back. And without that coordinated spam, they aren't able to work the sack in. So 3 minutes left. They got something. They got a lot of time to work with here. They're still feeling out the defenses of the dogs.
For sure, for sure. They are trying to just kind of work their way in here. They do get a soldier in behind, and they do end up getting the force, and so Panzer will be taking it back out. The dogs, however, do seem to be falling back onto last. Or they're playing possibly near pipes. And it does look like all of Panzer is coming out here from alleyway, ensuring that at the very least they're able to get a little bit of value out of that force.
Yeah, so they got that point. They're gonna have full overhead to work with here. Plenty of time to spot out a gun. There's a trap here on the
Oh,
shutter
the trap
that
does
kills
get it.
Ryan. And now they're gonna have to push it down a soldier, so you don't have that pincer from Ryan bombing in from main anymore. They're gonna use it on Voxy. They do kill a soldier, but they got pressure on the cap. There is a heavy with the Thomas off that they gotta worry about. As Kolske kills in a scout that was trying to come in from through far left, and that's the push already over. That trap kill from Yimpo on the shutter onto Ryan was pretty much imperative for them winning that last hold.
We do have Sneaky here fighting Puck, as Puck is just kind of hanging on at 1 HP, going for the last play. Does end up getting killed by Omger here, ensuring that the dogs are able to go forward without worrying about that back cap. It does look like Panzer is trying to work something in here, try and possibly get a sack. It does look like they are unable to do so. Omger is able to pick up 2 more kills here while we are nearing 13:30 on the clock.
But this Uber's going to even out. So Voxy is definitely going to try to signal based off his positioning for this exchange, but here we go. They're in on mid, the dogs, and Voxy is going to force out these flashes. Actually drops Yimpo. A huge misplay from Martin there, trying to flash his demo.
The Uber
and now
handshake.
they gotta call it off, the dogs. They gotta start heading for the dog pound maybe, or else they'll be put into it.
Oh no. Does look like the dogs are playing on second here. The Ubers have evened out as we did have that previous interaction. It does look like Martin is playing to leave here, while Yimpo appears to be setting up a trap on main. It does look like GG is going around the right side, though, ensuring that they go through lockers, I believe it is, to make sure that they are able to get at least a little bit of value. GG, however, is bombed by Phoenix. Phoenix does end up getting killed. Voxtech does end up getting both Phoenix and Kosuke. Gazi is in, getting Omger, and it does look like this will be another round in Panzer's favor.
Yeah, it is just a great distraction there from I think that was Gazi there on the point. Actually brought the heavy attention away from the rest of his team, who were trying to get their heals back up, because a lot of players were sub 50 there on that last push as they were shoving in through lockers. And unfortunately for the heavy, got completely juked by Gazi and hit straight in the back by 2 scatter shots. And there you go. The defense collapsed, and I think NOOBPANZER are pretty safe right now. It's going to be hard for them to blow this lead unless, you know, some very crucial mistakes are made.
For sure, for sure. And it does look like Ryan is getting in early, trying to get at least a little bit of damage. Yimpo is very unhealthy here, playing near lobby. It does look like they are getting pressured out. Phoenix and Puck are going up into the air. Unfortunately, they're not able to get either. Yimpo is able to pick up a kill on Gazi. Puck trying and goes for the air shot on Kosuke, and unfortunately, they're not able to do so. Phoenix is able to get in and get at least 2 kills there. And it does look like Yimpo is able to pick up GG and gets the half-zack kill onto Voxtech.
Yeah, great play there from Phoenix there. They had to get out of their main area because there was a fast roller from Ryan at the start of the mid that kind of stuffed them all into that lobby area. So they had to get out some way, somehow. And Phoenix with the double bomb, with the high bomb, fading into, I believe that was main there, and then going through the back door to kill Piggles. Pretty much allowed them to sandwich the entirety of NOOBPANZER, and now they have a chance to push into last, but they got to be successful. This is their second time now pushing into last with that, and the first time wasn't pretty.
Oh, yeah. It does look like Yimpo is possibly looking for a close right use again. No, it does look like they are going through main instead. They do launch the demo in. Demo is able to get at least a little bit of traps off. We get the flash coming back out. The gun is under bridge. And it looks like the dogs are able to get at least a little bit of value. They do have Puck on the base jumper once again, ensuring that at least a little bit comes out of that. Yimpo does, however, get shot by a flare. I don't order now, and I'll throw in a second beating absolutely free.
Hey, that's a great voice line. That's a very great impersonation. But we have Sneaky. Oh, he was trying to get in. He was trying to find a little pick onto Piggles there, but through the shutter door is a pyro, so he kind of thinks better of that at the moment. And right now, the dogs, they have to put, they're trying to find a way to get this force on the Piggles right now. They were trying to get a bit overzealous there, knowing the clock is against their favor. But it looks like Panzer are ready to use through the shutter door. They find Kosuke.
Oh,
great
they do
shot.
get the air shot on Kosuke. Oh, they hit the fence, and they're able to get that death by gravity. Oh, what a nice shot coming out from Puck.
And there was a scout trying to shove in for a back cap, but unfortunately gets dealt with pretty quickly at that. So essentially what is a double stack, does get the force, but it was really just them using out through main NOOBPANZER, through shutter door. And they're going to try to take these 2 picks all the way. They force out the det from Yimpo, pushing in from main, and they're still trying to shove in. Omgar is going to call for the solo scout Uber. It's not going to find anything because he's just getting juggled by the loose cannon of Gigi. And NOOBPANZER, they have free reign to walk back in. They're going to play off the bomb from Puck. They lose Ryan, though. And they will isolate the scout here in the lower area, but Sneaky is behind, drawing eyes onto the scout, now going to the pipe. Oh, that kill could have killed the soldier, but Puck got the medium pack.
We do have Phoenix who was trying to go in, but it was a little bit late before that. We are down to 9 minutes once again. Unless they play almost perfectly, this is a very, very uphill battle for the Dogs.
It's an uphill battle indeed, as NOOBPANZER half the point. They have 50 ad to work with. They're going to work their way in through this house area, and I think Gigi's going to call for a straight use here, but they get spotted early, and the sticky is juggled away by the rocket, but at least they'll find Phoenix for their trouble. So there is a gun in the force that will be dealt with, and she's going to back spawn, but I think here you're going to try to get this force here onto Martin, coming up on that Uber right now at 98%. But they're going to use
and it does look like Dogs are using in on lobby. Yeah, they're using in quite deep. They're able to get at least a couple of kills out here, trying to get a little bit more of a pressure. Puck is caught out here, unable to go for that sneaky bomb, and it does look like Martin is able to stay alive while building it out on second for the Dogs.
And it's a leapfrog scenario, so we're going to be expecting a use back in here from NOOBPANZER. Maybe they'll just try to take it for free. Not too quite sure, but they don't... Really, right now for NOOBPANZER, all they have to worry about is just burning time off the clock. With 8 minutes left, there's not much you can do if you're the Dogs here, except hope for a mistake from NOOBPANZER as they're shoving in here through this alleyway.
Yeah, it looks like they were spotted here by one of the scouts. Phoenix is going for a high bomb on the med. Hits 1, hits 2. Unfortunately, that was not enough to kill, and they did hold on to their Uber. Pickles just having the balls of steel, ensuring that that will not be a force coming out.
Yeah, I was surprised. Those 2 rockets only did like 50 damage apiece. If I was Pickles, I would have been a little more scared about that second one. But, Pickles got that experience versus us casters, so...
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Ryan is caught out, however, by Omgar, as they do have the heavy on last. Once again, they are mostly just trying to work something in here, as Panzer is getting slightly pushed out due to being down Ryan.
Got Phoenix in for the counterattack, gets a clean first rocket, but unfortunately does not have time to reload the second one and get it off. Really great air shot denial there from Puck, and you can add a little more points here if you want to extend this lead, NOOBPANZER, but they got 6 minutes to work with, or 6 minutes to burn off more so. As Puck is in through Locker's area, a good sink onto the sniper, does not kill the sniper. It's that little happy camper cosmetic that keeps him alive, they get forced regardless?
They almost had the pickaxe kill on the sniper.
Well, I think obviously that's great for comedic effect, but the bigger picture is that a second soldier came in that was Ryan, I believe, and then they got the force off of the distraction from Puck. So like,
Sneaky just shot a window. Sneaky it does look like the Dogs may have had a little bit of a mental boom coming out here. As time is ticking down, there's 6 minutes to win 3 rounds, and it is highly unlikely that it will happen, but who knows? Maybe some miracle could occur. And it does look like Panzer will be using in right here, trying to get that right space while we have Phoenix up at Batman, ensuring that at the very least they're able to get a little bit of value here. They do drop down, does end up getting Fox Tech here, goes for another bomb, does get the other soldier. Puck is going down. It does look like they are able to hold on to last.
No, another soldier came
Martin
in
did die.
to the far left spawn door. Martin was just trying to get back in for the reset, but was unsuccessful. And I think that kind of seals the deal here for this upper bracket final, unless because it's virtually impossible right now to win 3 rounds here without Uber ad, without your medic, pushing out of your last into second, and then going all the way to NOOBPANZER's last. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does seem like this will be the match. But, honestly, that is perfectly okay, as the Dogs have been having a good showing. They're able to almost even it out on Sultry, and you know, ensuring that at the very least they aren't going down without a fight.
That puts them 4-0, NOOBPANZER. Maybe they'll be looking to go for a clean sweep here to end the map in the series overall. But they should be winning this upper bracket semifinal match, and they should be moving on to face the winner of Scada versus Pepe's Pizza Party. So I don't know if that's been decided on the Critzcast stream, but I think it ended recently, so who knows.
Ended recently? Oh, that'll be fun. Definitely have to see. It does look like Yimpo is coming out fast here. GG is able to get a little bit of traps off to try and stop the rest of their team from coming in. We do have GG just kind of spamming here, ensuring it, but they do end up going down over to Sneaky while we have Puck from behind and trying to get a little bit of spam from behind, as most of Panzer does end up going down due to this very tough mid-fight. The dogs are able to get that mid-fight one, so they could carry it onto last and possibly take a round off of Panzer here.
Well, Gazi still has something to say about the mid. He's going to try to stop it, but I mean, against like 4 different players, that's kind of hard to do. So, hey, at least if they want to say that, hey, we got a round off of NOOBPANZER, this is the opportunity to do so. But
for sure.
Wait, GG might be gone here. Trying to set up a forward trap in lobby, but gets caught up by Sneaky. So you have no 6 point on the last push. But you do have the base jumpers on Puck and Ryan. And Puck is just levitating around, hovering in the skybox. And the Uber is in through far left. They're going to try to get this gun. They do manage to do so. They haven't dealt with the pyro or anything else, though. They do deal with Ryan on point.
They are able to pick up a round. Let's go!
They got that dog in them.
The dogs picked up a round. Let's go! Sigma. Oh, man. All right, and it does look like time is winding down here as we are at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But unfortunately, it does look like this is GG for the dogs. But once again, who knows? Maybe they can pick up another fast round and be like, we got 2 on Panzer, actually. But it does look like Omir is going a little bit of, or a little forward this time, making sure to get a little bit of spam onto the soldiers. They are almost able to get Puck. They do end up going down to GG, though. And the dogs are able to pick up quite a bit in this mid-fight, taking down 3 and forcing the Panzers to go back. The Panzer, or Piggles, is on Kritzkrieg right now. So we might be seeing some fun crits action coming out soon.
And with 2 minutes left, you can actually get 2 rounds here if you're quick about it. But we'll have to see here. They have to avoid this crits first and foremost on the side of the dogs. So here we go. GG is prepped up in lobby. You got a fade bomb here to cause a distraction.
And we use the crits. Crits are used. They do get it over, and they do take Sneaky.
But the Uber does come back in, so they're not going to get the kill on the medic, but can they keep everybody alive to refight the second? Yimpo is in, has to use all of his ammo, but finds nothing.
Pickles is able to survive that, and we are just having a DM fight on second now. The medic is trying to stay alive. They're already back at 50% due to the crits, the Kritzkrieg's increased overcharge rate. They are possibly going for the saw. They do get the saw off on Phoenix. We could be possibly seeing one more Kritzkrieg coming out here before it ends up being the round. Oh, man. And we do see another crits coming out on the Vox Tech. Unfortunately, or no, that was Gazi. Gazi was able to pick something up. GG did get a crit stick onto Martin, and so that will be Martin down. We might possibly see one more Uber actually coming out here, or one more Kritzkrieg coming out from Panzer.
50 seconds left. Can they get that 5th round? They're gonna go all in, and
the trap gets Vox Tech.
It was above the vents there in main there, and unfortunately, Yimpo gets pinned to the wall and pincered down by Ryan. So Ryan's gonna get that little baby air shot, but I don't know. They got 20 seconds left.
All right, we have another crit. We have another crits. And there's another use. They shoot over. They try and get at least a little bit of value. They are spamming at the soldier in the air. Unfortunately, they were not able to get anything, but Sneaky was able to get a kill, and it looks like that will be the set.
Congratulations to NOOBPANZER as they move on to the upper bracket finals, as I did get word that the other upper bracket final is still going on between, what is it? Sketa and Pepe's
Pepe's
Pizza Party. So
Yeah.
with that being said, I don't really have too much to say about this match other than it was a good try by the dogs, but they didn't have enough of the dog in them.
Yeah, unfortunately, it did seem like the dogs were struggling a little bit on this map. Once again, they had a very good showing. Both teams did. Unfortunately, the dogs were only able to pick up a round. However, once again, some of these teams are more coordinated than others. I believe I remember you saying that the dogs were more of a put together team instead of a previous, what do you call it? A previous team that just decided to go to LAN.
Uh, I actually no. It was more so that the New Panzer were a top three team in ETF2L. This team here on the side of the dogs, they are actually they weren't put together. They're actually playing in, I believe, are they playing in Div 1 this season? No, actually no. You are right. They are a put together team. So it was a good showing for them to even take them to take New Panzer to a 1-0 scoreline on what is it? Sultry.
Yeah, 1-0, and then, the 5-1 on Metalworks, which once again was a very good showing. We should be having logs coming up here soon, so we can take a look at those.
Yeah, I'll actually go forward them to you right now. As a matter of fact, Metalworks. I mean, it wasn't a surprise. It was a clean and dominant win for the New Panzer squad. Did take all of 30 minutes, but getting 30 rounds in getting 5 rounds 30 minutes in these days with the whole stalemate on last because the round timer is different now. I mean, that's kind of a given. It's kind of hard to do. So, good on them for getting the 5 rounds. Good on the dogs for getting 1 round at least coming, even though they were pretty much destined to lose per se if the plot was supposed to be working as intended. And they can keep their heads high because with that first map performance, they might be good to defeat 3.5 stars in their potential lower bracket rematch.
I do believe, at the very least, we'll be definitely seeing a good showing coming out from the dogs, as they are still in this. But at the very least, once again, they really did perform well for what they, had to deal with. Even just getting 1 round off of, what do you call it? Getting 1 round off of Panzer is already more than a lot of teams in the tourney can say that they've done.
Yeah, and as I have the bracket up now, it looks like the dogs will be facing against Duplo. The other bottom, the 6th place team from the invite group stage. So it'll be a 5th versus 6th seed match, whereas 3.5 stars will face the loser of Sketa versus Pepe's Pizza Party, which should happen in maybe like 30 minutes from now, but it looks like Sketa versus Pepe's Pizza Party is still underway on Gully Wash right now on the 3rd map. So we're going to go to a break, Flaurosa. We're going to go throw it over to Critscast, and then we'll be back live again for the next BO3 that we'll be casting.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out. We do greatly appreciate it. Once again, if you guys are enjoying the stuff, be sure to go over to Critscast and thank them once again for allowing us to be the remote stream, as well as thank them for venue stuff and all that stuff going over at the LAN.